everybody! Welcome back from the Christmas break. I did not deliberately take a break, but I just felt like everyone just needed to de stress a little bit, enjoy their Christmas dinner, enjoy family without having to feel like they're missing a live stream from me, at least. Um, and I did do a recorded video in between, but that was because I just felt like that story needed to be told before too much happened to bury it. And so I did a recorded video so that you could all watch at your own time, and I hope you enjoyed that video. Anyway, welcome back, guys. Welcome back to Isabella Banks' YouTube channel. I'm Wheezy, and as always, it's a pleasure to be here with you this evening. Now, guys, there's a lot to talk about. Well, it's not going to be a long one because we're just going to gradually build it up um, before the new year starts. But we have a little bit to talk about this evening. So grab your tea, your coffee, or your glass of wine for those people who are still celebrating, because we have a bit to unpack this night. And it's all about the build up to Prince Harry's court case. Trust me, Murdoch's camp are scampering like the rats that they are, throwing their toys out of the pram, and I think one of the things that has got them the most worried is the issue of the cover up that Harry was mentioning in his Deal Book Summit interview with Andrew Sulkin. You guys remember that one? Okay, so the issue of the cover up is a main part of the thing that they're worried about. My personal request is that Prince Harry turns all of this into a book and then sells the movie rights. Honestly, why not? Why not? I mean, he doesn't have to do the 400 pages that he has left from Spare. He can just go straight to what happened while he was dealing with this court case, turn it into a movie. I would watch that because I'm sure there's a lot going on behind the scenes, and I would love to know what happened behind the scenes. And I know already, I mean, everyone does, right? We've all heard that the legal fees from this court case are going to run up to 50 million pounds. We've heard that already. So we know that Harry is making a lot of sacrifices, but that's just what we know about. There must be a lot more going on behind the scenes, like how it's impacting them individually. And I'm sure it's impacting every single member of their household, which is why I'm glad that they hibernate from time to time and only come out when it's necessary to do so, because no one can really understand the impact of going through this slug of court cases that Harry has instituted. And I'm sure that it's taken its toll on all of them, but I'm glad that they keep it together anyway. But as we have expected, the smear campaign has ramped up. Like, I didn't even think that there was uh, any further that they could go, but apparently there is. There is. We had expected that they would go further, but I was just asking myself, they've done everything. What else is there for them to do? Apparently, there's a lot more, and we're going to get into it this evening. So stay tuned as we break it all down. Okay, so um we are in the final stretch before Harry's legal showdown with Murdoch's camp. And let me tell you, this is shaping up to be the courtroom drama of this century. The tabloids are sweating bullets, not just because they're used to making up fake weather stories or making up fake stories about the celebrities they make money from by reporting on them, but because Harry is about to expose them and hand them back their asses. So Eric Gardner from Puck, okay, he sat down with a UK litigation solicitor to dissect the mechanics of this case, right? So what was the hot topic? What was the point of this article in the first place? You might wonder. So, and this is the reason why I wanted to discuss this article, because it broke it down in a way that my American compadres will be able to understand. All right. So breaking it down in summary is that the issues in this case are such as whether Prince Harry's claim in itself is time barred. And for my non-lawyer family out there, that's just a fancy way of asking, did Harry wait for too long to file this lawsuit? Okay. The lawsuit, the tabloids are praying he did, because if the judge rules against him on this issue, the case is over before it even begins. Game over, lights out, everyone go home. But I think that we can I think that we can ascertain by the very fact that the judge allowed this case to even go to trial at all, that actually Harry is okay in that respect, because one of the things that the British courts hate, or one of the major principles that guides the British courts, is that they try to make sure that they don't waste their time, and they do not put, because the courts are funded by the taxpayer, aren't they? So they try to make sure that the courts don't waste their time, and they will not allow something to go to court if it doesn't have a more than 50% chance of succeeding. Okay. And so, speaking of messy, and just to make sure that they are going to be able to win, they're doing everything, they're pulling out all the stops to win this case. They're bringing in a top tier King's Council. You know how Beyonce is the musician of musicians? Okay, so they're bringing someone who is the council of all councils in the UK to cross-examine Harry for 4 days straight. I repeat that again. Harry is going to be on the stand for 4 good days. They're going to try to break him every which way that they can. Well, that in itself is not worrisome, because I remember in Spare how Harry had said that they went through some exercise where they were training them as military officers, to see whether they would break under questioning in enemy's camp. So I'm sure he will treat it in that way, and they will definitely work together to make sure that he will be able to bear up under any kind of hostile questioning. So that's not even the issue. I'm sure that Harry will be okay. It will be draining. It will be an exercise, a proper exercise. He'll probably lose about 20 pounds on the stand, but but I'm sure he'll be fine. But guess what? Harry is going to be in the UK. I don't know why that makes me happy. It makes my heart smile. Even though I know that Harry has had his issues with the royal family and the media, it means that we're going to be able to see Harry on, like, I only ever see him on the screen, but it just means that I'm going to be in the same place where Harry is. Not that I matter in the grand scheme of things, but it's just nice to know that he's going to be around. And by now, of the UK media are an irritant. He's gotten used to them being an irritant. And it also means that that question of whether Harry will be going to see the royal family and whether they're going to be supporting him and all of that business is going to be replaying it again. But I'm sure that Harry is used to it as well right now. And that is not even the issue. He will be fine. Yeah. I'm sure he's going to have all the support, which is part of the reason why I love the fact that him and Meghan are just hibernating right now, taking care of themselves, taking care of their family, because the year is going to start off at a rollicking gallop. That's such a British thing to say, rollicking gallop. Anyway, the plan is to tear him apart on the stand, but Harry's got, if there's one thing Harry has got on his side, it is the fact that he has got the truth. And if there's one thing we have learned, it is that even though they don't want to, when Harry speaks, people listen. And he's got a whole team, I'm sure, right now supporting him in the court case. The private investigators who were involved in the unlawful practices who have joined the team are supporting him in the case. And a lot of the journalists who were involved in unlawful practices have also joined his team. So Harry is not alone in all of this. It's just that the road to getting here is a very difficult one, an expensive one, and must have come with a lot of sacrifices from him and his entire nuclear family. Anyway, this is now we're here. We're approaching the court case, right? If there's one thing that if there's one thing that we have to discuss, it is the role of the ever scandalous Will Lewis. Will Lewis, who is the current CEO of the Washington Post and former News of the World bigwig, which was News of the World was the media agency that got caught for phone hacking all those many years ago, which is actually one of is at the center of this case. All right. So Harry's team has accused Will Lewis of being deep in the muck of the cover-up. That's the second part of this whole thing. It's bad enough that they're going to, first of all, the issues that they're discussing in this, the I'm talking about the big issues, right? So the big issue, first of all, is this case time barred? Okay, once we get past the issue of is the case time barred, that is, did Harry know about this case in sufficient time for it not to be thrown out of court because its status of limitation has covered the case. So if the case is freed from any issue of being outside of the limit of statute of limitation, then you have the issue of Will Lewis and the cover-up he was involved in. In those days, when this part of the case, the issues in the case that they're discussing is that the police at the time had told News of the World not to delete the emails. But Will Lewis went on and deleted the emails and then provided the police with a total fabrication as to the reason why he had to delete the case. And in doing so, he framed a former prime minister. So he is likely to face criminal charges for his role in the cover-up. Like, I'm telling you, there's so much involved in this case. This is why I'm saying that Harry needs to write a book. He needs to write a book, and he needs to sell the film rights. I'm sure he will make so much money, so much, even more than Spare. Like, who needs Netflix when a real life drama like this is unfolding? Honestly. Anyway, as I said, Lewis allegedly deleted emails during the infamous phone hacking scandal at the News of the World, a move that was not just shady but straight up illegal. This is why he's likely to face criminal charges. And to cover his tracks, he threw Gordon Brown, the former prime minister, under the bus. Imagine the audacity. Imagine being audacious enough to frame a prime minister. It's giving villain energy, you know. Like him and Elon Musk would be friends. Anyway, so what happens if Harry wins the case? What happens? What happens if Harry wins the case? Honestly, according to the solicitor that was being interviewed on the POC, this article, right? It would be catastrophic for Murdoch's empire. The legal strategy that Prince Harry has used so far has been genius. He started stacking all these cases that he filed in court weren't just random cases. What they did was that they got an early acknowledgement of the illegal nature of the illegal practices of the journalist from the very first case. They kind of like stacking one case on top of the other like a Jenga tower of justice. First, you prove the tabloids engaged in shady practices, then you trace the money. And before you know it, the whole structure is crumbling. So Harry's intent, all of this while, is to crumble the Murdoch empire. And one of the likely outcomes of this is that Murdoch is going to go out of business. I don't know how long he's going to be able to continue to run his business by when he has literally no credibility whatsoever. This is probably the reason why he has been buying into other businesses so that he can subsume the credibility of those businesses onto himself, because he has lost his own personal credibility as a business owner, you know. Anyway, what I love to see is that Murdoch's media machine is running scared, and I, for one, am enjoying the show. I, for one, am enjoying the show. All right, and just when you thought they couldn't stoop any lower, how you know that the Murdoch empire is running scared is by the amount of ridiculous attacks that are being thrown Harry and Meghan's way. Each headline is getting more and more desperate. Have you guys not noticed? Have you guys not noticed? Each headline is getting more and more desperate. And I just love the fact that Harry and Meghan give them nothing to work with. Like, so everything that they're reporting on right now just makes them look all the more ridiculous. I just love it. Um, so the in a bid to try to intimidate Harry in the lead up to the court case, they have launched an attack against BetterUp, the company where Harry works as chief impact officer. So they have used their usual MO. And you know what? I am not just doing this video because I want to report on a story. I really want to see if I can inspire you guys to take action through this video. What am I talking about? All right, so you guys notice that every time they want to take another hit, each time they want to make another hit against Harry's reputation, they go somewhere to do something, make a mess that would be disreputable to Harry, for instance, and then report on it. It's sort of like them trying to create a mess and they report on the mess as though they were not the ones who created the mess. So what they have done is that they have gone to this employee review website. It's called Glassdoor, and I think it's called Glassdoor, as in glass, a drinking glass. Glassdoor. It's a website for employee reviews, okay, to flood it with negative ratings. Classy, right? But this is the kind of dark up of PR that I reported about in my last video, that I was saying to you that apparently and allegedly Melissa Nathan of the Tag PR group in America engaged in against Blake Lively. All right. So it's the same kind of tactics, but you know the techniques they use in their dark ops of PR uh, are many. And one of them is that they go. I remember reading Spare, and Harry had mentioned that someone had gone to Pornhub to create an AI video, uploaded it up there, and someone reported on it, whether it was in the Daily Mail or the Daily Mirror, as though it was a real story. And Meghan had to sue for that story to be taken down. And the Daily Mail or the Daily Mirror, I don't remember which one, had to apologize, but of course they put it in the smallest print that no one could see on their paper. But they've done it again. This time they have gone to Glassdoor. It's a website for employee reviews to flood it with negative ratings against BetterUp. So of course I'm sure you guys can, without being told, you already know what they're trying to do. It's not just intimidate Harry. That is for sure. They're trying to intimidate him, but they're trying to get him fired from the job to make sure that he doesn't have any income coming in from any place. And now we can see the reason why he literally did 3 continents in as much as a week in order to make sure that he could fulfill all his obligations, and why he takes the Invictus Games so seriously, and why traveling to other foreign countries was a very important. I've been saying this for the longest time, but I'll get to that. Let me not get ahead of myself. Anyway, before we continue, if this is your first time on this channel, welcome. Don't wait. Hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, and drop a comment below. If you don't know what to say, just use an emoji. Use the love emoji. It's all love over here. All right. So our next subscriber goal is 10K subscribers. We'll tell you the reason why towards the end of the video. We are at the midway part of that goal. So support us on this channel by hitting the subscribe button. To those who have been rocking with me from the very start, you are the real MVPs. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right. So now some people say, oh, Harry and Meghan are untouchable now that they're in America. To those folks, I would always argue and say, well, a little more help doesn't hurt, because no man is an island. And I try to explain the extent and the amount of influence the royal family had from that perspective. And although some people got it, but they really rather just dismiss it as though I was just, but now we are getting closer to the issue. The issue is that of the court case. The royal family are directly involved in this court case because they're going to be exposed. All the tactics, everything that they have agreed with the media is going to be exposed in this court case. And then the media themselves are also are exposed, right? And so for that reason, the smear campaign, as much as people are reporting about the smear campaign, which was activated against, well, the alleged smear campaign, should I say, which was activated against Blake Lively by Justin Baldoni, allegedly, even in the midst of that, the smear campaign against Harry and Meghan continues to date. It hasn't stopped. the fight is far from over. I will be silly to assume that the smear campaign has no effect whatsoever. We would absolutely be silly. But here's where we come in, okay? Well, Harry and Meghan, someone asked me in the comment section, what's Harry and Meghan's PR team doing? All I can say to that is, you know what? It's a valid question. I will not dismiss your question whatsoever. What are they doing? The only thing that I can refer my mind to is the Harry and Meghan documentary, where Meghan was saying every now and then a story pops up from nowhere, and then they have to work on it to get the story withdrawn, pulled, or whatever. And Harry and Meghan's team undoubtedly is not as big as the British media. So definitely it's a David and Goliath type of situation. These tactics that they have employed against Harry and Meghan are not new. They have done it to every person who was errant, every person who was strayed away from the prescribed course, whether it is the course of the media or the course of the royal family. They have crushed them to return back to wherever they want them to be. Is it Princess Margaret? Is it Prince Edward? Is it Princess Diana? You know, as far as we know. What's his name? Prince Edward, Princess Margaret, and so on. Anyway, um, but the difference is what they didn't account for was that there was such a thing as the Sussex Squad. I remember when I started noticing all that was happening to Harry and Meghan, and every day my chest would just be heavy because I had nowhere to express how I felt about what was happening, didn't know how I could help. And so when I discovered the Sussex Squad on YouTube, I was the happiest person because I would sit down, I would listen to Tina and Michelle. When they say right here, I would be, and they will provide a template as well. I would take the templates, send as many as I could, 10, 15, if possible, you know. And for that reason, we were effective. And the thing that is why the Sussex Squad actually made the UK news. Can you imagine? They didn't report about the Channel 4 dispatches, but they reported about the Sussex Squad in the Daily Mail and all the other papers that reported about the Sussex Squad. But um, since then, the Sussex Squad have just been a place where people gather to talk about Harry and Meghan. What's happening to them? The activism part of it has kind of, gone on a downward spiral. I don't know whether it's because people feel, I don't know whether it's because people, I don't know whether it's because people feel exhausted because it's been a long while. And if you feel exhausted, you know what? I completely understand. But life, as I continue to say, is a continuous battle. You finish one battle and you're trying to move on to the next stage, and then the next battle presents itself, and then you have to work your way through that. And what I would just suggest is, for those people who get exhausted, this is the time to recuperate, rest, take a break from all of it. But if you are keen to do activism, please come back. Let's battle this thing through. Let's make history by doing something that hasn't been done before. My channel is just a small channel, but I believe that the gentle activism task that we undertake here does make a difference. I'm going to be introduced, since we're going to be leaning away from negative reporting and leaning into positive reporting. I'm going to be introducing websites that actually do report positively on Harry and Meghan. When I do introduce them, I beg you please engage with those people who report positively about Harry and Meghan so that they know that the positive reporting is worth their while. Anyway, I say all that to say today is not Tuesday where we usually do Activism Tuesday, but having seen this report about um, Harry's job with BetterUp being targeted, shall we head to Glassdoor and leave a positive review for BetterUp? Obviously, you need to create an account with BetterUp. They take you through, I think, 2, 3 questions or so, and you can create an account. And just create an account there and leave a review. Don't give up. Don't be tired. Let's drown out the noise with some positivity. And don't forget, our fight for justice continues. And this is why I'm still going to be pushing for the petition to the UN to address this blatant harassment. Let's not just be fans, but let us be a movement, you know? Harry is doing everything he can, extending himself, sacrificing so much. And it might not mean much to you guys in America, but especially for the UK, people in the UK, Harry is doing this. If he is able to win his court case, you know, the likely outcome of this is that they're going to bring back the Levinson too. He will now have the leverage to demand that the Levinson 2 inquiry be brought back. And this will require an investigation into all the journalists and all the media organizations that participated. That's why they're all banding together to fight against Harry at the moment. Okay. This is why it seems like there is a consensus amongst the media houses to make sure that they destroy his reputation to nothing. What they didn't count on, though, was the Sussex squad. So, while I cannot blame anyone who gets tired because it's been a while, it's been a long time, it's been, but I don't know, nothing, there's nothing that ever changes without an effort and without a fight. You only have to look at the civil rights movement to understand. And I feel like the issue that Harry and Meghan are facing, while it might not be as huge as the civil rights movement, but it's comparable in the extent of damage that the continued harassment by the media in the UK does to people. I don't know. And for my American audience, the UK media are infiltrating America, and the people who are infiltrating America are friends with Donald Trump. They have the same ideology. It's something to be concerned about. So while you're tired, take a break, close your eyes for 2 days or 3 days, but jump back in because it's about to get real over here in these streets, you know. And January, Donald Trump is going to be in the seats, you know. uh, Donald Trump is going to be in the main seats. So let me see what people are saying. Hey Joyce Anderson, how are you doing? Um, Sharon S said Harry has brought too much new business to Better Up to lose his job. Well, I'm sure he has, but can we be and uh, I'm not speaking negatively into this matter. What I'm asking is, can we be realistic about what's actually going on? Is one thing to be encouraging towards someone, but it's another thing to look at the situation realistically and understand that If you have someone who is constantly bringing negative attention to the company, no matter how much money the person is bringing to you, it will get to a point where you might say to yourself, you know what, not all money is good money. I wasn't going through all of this before, and I don't really see the reason why I need to go about it now. It's one thing if you are not the kind of person who necessarily has the strength to engage with all of this. I get that. I get that. But I think it's not fair to also discourage people who may actually have the strength to keep on the fight. I'm not saying that you're discouraging anyone, but I just think that if you are not adding to the push to do something, then perhaps, perhaps encourage. I think maybe you should just encourage people to stand on guard because a lot is going to go down in the new year. Annie Andrews, you know what? I'm not even going to bother. Um, um, Tiger Mommy says, appreciate your updates. Thank you, Tiger Mommy. Dolores says, Queen Elizabeth II played her dangerous games, bring down people more like a snake. Dane Queen Elizabeth wouldn't have never did the council rule. No, she would not. She would not. She would not. Anyway, this is the reason for those who are wondering why I'm so passionate about all of this. It's not like I'm having a headache. What I am saying is that this is a mission. This is a movement. We're seeing something going wrong in our time and our age, and we need to do something about it. Just the same way when people looked at the abolition of slavery and it seemed overwhelming in that age. This is the problem of our age. It's a very serious problem, and it's not just about Harry. Anyway, for those people who are interested in supporting, please help me get up to 10,000 subscribers. So your subscription is very important because part of the requirements for me to get on the route to filing that petition with the United Nations and UNESCO is the 10,000 subscribers. We will be able to help Harry agitate for the Leveson 2 inquiry once the court case has been decided. If there is a reasonable platform with which to do partnerships with the charitable organizations that agitate against media harassment and cyberbullying. Not everybody is interested in this side of things. So if you are interested, please help me to get into 10,000 subscribers. Also, I am researching, attending legal consultations, reporting to move this mission forward. That's going to take money. So if 1,000 people subscribe to my channel at $4.99 each, we could propel this mission forward at an exponential speed so that we can be of assistance to Harry. So what I would suggest is, if you want to support my mission, please go ahead to click on the link at the top of the chat. It's the link to the channel membership. Hit the link at the top of the chat and we'll be able to assist Harry once the court case has been decided to move the mission forward. I also will need at least a minimum of 1,000 Instagram followers to effectively disseminate information when the sequence for the filing of the petition starts. This will definitely boost our ability to influence the undecided opinions and rally more supporters to join our cause, especially as we implement a structured plan to change the narrative. So, join the movement, guys. Let's make history together. As I said, the membership details are in the description box and also at the top of the chat. And the Instagram link is also in the chat as well. Let's get to work. Let's get to work. I am sure they don't even have the real details of what someone says, who says that Prince Harry earns 1 million. Hold on, where is it? Who says Harry makes $1 million? I'm sure they don't even have the full details of how much Harry makes. I'm definitely sure that Harry makes more than $1 million. What they're doing is they're probably angling for more information. But the point is that they're also putting pressure on BetterUp. That's the main point, that they're putting pressure on a source of revenue for Harry. And this is all in a bid to get him to drop the court case. So, um, let me see. Lorna says, I think Harry has shares in BetterUp, so it's more than a job, but helping the company is the right thing to do. A company should not be slandered by lies. Yes, absolutely. At this point, if he didn't have, I would be very surprised if he didn't have um, shares in BetterUp, actually, because it makes sense for him to do so. It makes shares for him to have shares in the company, given his connection with the Invictus Games and the opportunities that that gives to him worldwide to bring new business into BetterUp. Anyway, this is what I wanted to discuss today. Um, Kim Coate says, hello everyone. I'm late to the party, but it seems same stuff, different day. Yes, but you know what? That is exactly what the smear campaign. This is one of the things that excuse me, that they aim to achieve with the smear campaign, to exhaust us all. It seems like they're repeating the same thing. Meanwhile, the damage is being done, but we're so overwhelmed and exhausted by the continuous negative diatribe that we overlook the damage that is being done by along the way. So what I'm doing by this video is pointing out the fact that they are now targeting BetterUp. And if you are able to go over to the BetterUp website to leave a review, please go ahead to do so. This is not BetterUp website, sorry, it's Glassdoor. When you get to Glassdoor, just search for BetterUp, and you need to have the words together, not like better and then space and then up, in order for it to come up. You need to type in BetterUp together for the profile to come up. You can see that they've got 2.9 and 2.9 in the review, and I think it's over 5, 2.9. So they have gone there to negative review bomb the ratings. So if you can, while I understand what you're saying, that same, there's a lot of damage that is happening along the way while they are saying the same things. You see what I'm saying? I hope you do anyway. All right, folks, that's all for today's deep dive. Remember, the fight isn't just about Harry and Meghan. It's about holding the media accountable for their lies and their bullying. Let's see if we can push back against them and get back some of our activism spirit in the Sussex squads. um, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, share it with your friends, and let's keep the conversation going in the comments. Okay, I'll join you there. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more updates. Thank you guys for being here. This is Wheezy signing out. Until next time, ciao. So I'm going to be on to have a look at the comments. If you are done listening with me, you can go ahead and um, because the video is done, I'm just going to be looking at the comment section. They have contracts with the military and some Fortune 500 companies. This level of smearing is unacceptable. Yeah. Lona says, please rate Polo on IMDb and replay it on a second TV if you have one. And Dolores Sims says, remember, Rupert Murdoch has paid millions of dollars to keep the people from really knowing the truth. This case is going to rock the UK when the information comes out. I wish I could like your comment 1,000 times, because you seem to what I get is a lot of people trying to downplay the gravity of what is happening. It's going to be massive. It's going to every day. I think a lot of people are going to be going to jail. A lot of people are going to be going to jail, and that's why part of the reason why they are fighting tooth and nail to deal with Harry and prevent the court case from proceeding. Good night, Katie. Thanks, Jenny. All right, guys. This is Wheezy signing out. Until next time. Ciao.